Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast, Football Friday Live Edition. Matt Fargo in studio. Marc Lawrence will be here shortly. So let's start with Marc. You know, he's running out his little book. He's got things going on. It's Christmas. Listen, you see the old we got the Christmas llama behind me. It's busy season right now. You know, the holidays are here. It could be a little late. It's okay. Marc Lawrence again. We'll be here shortly. You are here now, though. So hit the like, share, subscribe. Notification bell on. You don't want to miss the Football Friday Live. Why would you want to miss that? Of course not, especially with Bulls starting tomorrow and regular season. College football as well, wrapping up their regular season tomorrow on the LA, was it crunked up LA Bowl?
I don't know what it is. I just know it is the LA Bowl.
LA crunked up bowl hosted by Gronk at SoFi Stadium. You couldn't just call it the California Bowl or just the LA Bowl. No, you got to come out with 9 million names to it. I'm simple. Give me the old school names. Listen, put the notification bell on because Saturday and Sunday, Chip Trimmers and the Vegas Legends will be with you, bringing you free picks over the weekend. You know, I'm here Monday to Friday, taking care of business with Chip and Doug and Brian, Matt, of course, Alex Smart. We got you covered all week long here. Put that notification bell on. Don't miss a free pick winner. Our best bets, top plays, though, gamblersworld.net. And to mention bowls tomorrow, college football, not even early bird anymore because you start tomorrow, but go get it. On sale, special price right now, gamblersworld.net for all of your college football winners. Starts today. If you like FCS, I kind of like Montana State tonight. The line has moved from the 13 up to a 14, I believe, 14 and a half. But Matt Fargo in the house with me right now. Matt, last night's game, let's jump right into it. I had the Falcons, and I have been talking about Tampa Bay, and I could insert Tampa Bay. I could remove that and put in the Philadelphia Eagles. I could remove that name and put in the Kansas City Chiefs. There are several teams in that Tampa Bay boat where they just have not looked right in a month, whether it's injuries adding up or just the state of play and guys who are sort of hurt or healthy. They're just getting tired from carrying everybody who hasn't been playing. It's to no fault of their own. People get hurt. Again, a favorite that would we favored more than a field goal? It's like Kansas City this weekend. I mean, I get the Eagles are playing the Raiders, and it's got to be 10, 11, 12, 13 points because it's the Raiders. But I could not trust the Tampa Bay last night. I took the Falcons. Never in doubt money line winner. Easy as pie. No question about a guy falling on the ground as a touchdown pass. Hey, listen, I'll take it. I'll take the win. But, you know, what do you think this Tampa team? They got Carolina next week. Have they – and I don't want to say like the window's shut with Baker because the first month of the year he looked pretty good, and then injuries kind of partake. Sure. And I want to link it to, like we said about KC the other day. You know, maybe you miss a playoff. Okay, you don't want to miss the playoffs, but you know what? Rest up. Get a postseason or get an off season of rest and get ready for next year. I mean, obviously this division is going to get a little tougher. The Saints have a little fight. Carolina looks like they're making the turn around the corner to get to a better franchise. And the Falcons, you know what? Who knows what you get with the Falcons? I mean, Cousins steps in there. He looked really good. You know, Pitts looks like the first-round pick. But, you know, your takeaway from last night and just and anything else you think about how they kind of blend in a couple other teams the way Tampa Bay has played?
Yeah, I was unfortunately I was on the Bucs last night. I thought it was a good bounce back spot for them, and I didn't watch much of the second half, unfortunately. But I'm glad I didn't because they were up 14 and they blew it. Cousins looked like the old Cousins, right? Pitts came out of nowhere. So Bijan had his normal game, great game. Yeah, you can lump Tampa into the group like you just mentioned with Philly. With these teams like. They start out great, and injuries pile up, and then all of a sudden they're like scratching. Right now, they're I think they're out of the playoffs, right? I think Carolina moved into the number one spot, and now Tampa is on the outside looking in. Yeah, they're actually a game behind Detroit now. So, I don't know what to make of this team. They're maybe going to get healthy at the right time. I don't know, but they play Carolina twice in the next 3 weeks, so we'll see what happens.
It's you think it's a bounce back because you have a short week, you're home. Cousins, they get crushed the week before, although they played well for a half. But you're thinking, what am I getting out of this guy? I'm just telling you, like with them and Philly and Kansas City, these guys are being priced like they're playing great ball, and the fact is they're not. And whether it's the injuries or just teams catch up with them, or just they're not executing themselves on offense, there's value taking some of these dogs now. You know,
Absolutely.
You can't just say, "Oh well, Kansas City's going to pull this one out." Really? Like, I'll get to the comments in a second here, but let's just go to the Charger, San Diego or LA. They'll always be San Diego to me. Chargers in Kansas City, 5.5 was 4.5, kind of bouncing back for those numbers. I get the Chargers are banged up offensively; they don't look all that great. How are you laying points with the Chiefs? Like, oh yeah, this is a bounce back smash spot for the Chiefs, man. Chargers didn't look good. Well, the Chargers won on Monday night. I guess that totally forgets how, because they didn't play that great. People forget on Sunday night, the Chiefs showing, where they lost at home against the Texans. And I understand, like, they'll get it together. They're going to be playing on December 15th. Get it together. There's 3 games left in the season. Now they're going to get it together now? You want to? I can't lay points with the Chiefs in a spot like that. I can't do it.
I can. And we talked about this on the show on either Tuesday or Wednesday. The reason I can is because I think they're undervalued in the fact that nobody wants to bet on them right now because they've lost the last 5 against the spread. And that's a big reason why I do like them. And just the Chargers coming off, a short week, overtime game. They played 150 snaps. The defense will be tired. They lost another tackle. Their offensive line is trashed right now, and
terrible.
It's horrible. And if I have to do it, I'm going to lay points with Kansas City. I hate to do it because it should be a field goal game. Are they overpriced by the past? Maybe a little bit based on the number, but I think they have to be the right side here in this game.
Yeah, we did this on I guess it was Wednesday, right? Me, you, and
Wednesday with Brian, yes, yeah.
And under 41.5 we kind of agreed on, because again we're talking about this line where it is. It's like, well, anything on the other side of 3, I'm going to look to. I don't care who Kansas City, but they be playing the Titans laying 3.5. I'm taking the Titans. That's how I'm just down on them. But under, right, you're still with the under 41.5 though with these 2 teams. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
The Chiefs are defense first, offense struggling, and the Chargers offense. When that line is banged up, you see how bad they are. It's a mess. It's a mess. Skywise is in the house. San Fran, or calls them the LA McConkeys. I mean, seriously, Land McConkey, this guy, just you figured with. I mean, last year they didn't have Keenan Allen, who was getting 900 targets. And it started this year. Allen was getting targets. Johnson was getting targets. And now it's still game on the line, or he's under pressure. It's McConkey nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
Nonstop. Herbert over passing TDs.
Man, that's a tough one. 1.5.
Listen, I like the Chargers, but why do I think this game's gonna be like 19-17 or some crap? Right? I mean, it'll be like one.
Yeah.
It's gonna.
We brought it up on Wednesday that the Chiefs defense has actually been pretty good over the last couple of months. They had the one bad game against Buffalo, and I forget who the other. I'll have to look it up right now. But other than that, they've been playing pretty well, and they're keeping them within reach. I can't trust this Chargers offense right now with the offensive line the way it is. After they lost their tackle on Monday, third string tackle, by the way, they couldn't move the ball. They could not move the ball at all. So
yeah, that's again under for sure. Touchdown passes, I'm not looking to get in on. I mean, he could throw 1, he could throw 2. They could run it in. I mean, Herbert was taking off a little bit. Maybe he's got the wheels back here. Maybe he gets the wheels back. SF Niner says the Niners go 4-0 next 4 games and win the division. Well, we talked about this the other day, Niner. He came in and was talking about who they got coming up. And why wouldn't they? They have the lowly Titans this week. They follow that up, I think, with the Colts on the road, which you're going to be favored. You should win that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
They have the Bears at home. Again, should be probably a win for them there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's And this week, I mean, I get it. And the week after, well, we'll see how they wrap up. I think they have like the Rams at the end of the season, but I don't know what their last game is. But they should have these three. You're home against the Titans as a near 2-touchdown favorite. Colts on the road with a guy they just literally brought out of a retirement home who was changing his grandkids' diapers. And then a Bears team that, are they real or are they not? Like, how good are the Bears?
And then they finished with Seattle, which could be, and that could be the division. That could be the division. Depends on what the Rams do. We did our preseason show. One of my future bets was San Francisco to make the playoffs. Yep. Mainly because they had an easy schedule, and it's kind of panned out that way. And the fact that 3 of the last 4 are at home, and the one road game is against the Colts, I could easily see them going 4-0, depending on that last game against Seattle. Depending on what is up for grabs.
That's going to be a tough game. Listen, Seattle's tough. They have 3 losses. They again should have a nice win against the Colts this week. You're 2-touchdown favorite. Forget about the wins aren't about covering. They just got to win the game to move to 11-3 here.
Yep.
Rams on Thursday night. Again, that'll kind of sway how things go, because the Rams or them will lose. They'll be 10-4. The Niners win, they're 10-4, and the winner Seattle Rams will be 11-3.
Yep.
And then here come the tiebreakers if guys win out on their own, and then it comes down to that last game between the Seattle and Niners. At least it's a competitive division. Believe it or not, most of the divisions are pretty competitive, with the exception of I guess, if you look at them, I guess the least competitive would be the AFC East with the Eagles. But I'll tell you what, if they keep slipping, and again, are they going to lose outright this week? I don't know. Honestly, I see 11.5 things. I think that's a little low, to be honest with you. Like, if you're thinking the Eagles should beat the Raiders, right? Why isn't that at 12 or 13? You think off the top of your head. How many people are putting the Eagles in a money line parlay this week, thinking they'll win this one? I'll tell you what, they lose that and they're 8-6, and Dallas comes up at 7-6-1. Like, holy cow! Like, the Eagles basically had this wrapped up. You thought before Thanksgiving, right? Like, absolutely. All right, Dallas needs to be It basically went out. Kansas City, Detroit, Philly on a row. Well, they beat Philly, they beat Kansas City, lost one in Detroit. They get a McCarthy here, who I'm no lover of McCarthy. I don't think this guy's a good quarterback. He had one game, supposed to be impressed with his game versus the Redskins last week. I mean, I don't know about that, but look at these divisions. Everything is really kind of tightened up a little bit. You got the 11-2 teams in Detroit and New England, but if they drop one, then you're a game ahead, and it's kind of like, ooh, these might be a little interesting. Mm-hmm. All in all, as much as the season has terrible teams, right? There's a lot of 2-10s or 2-11s, 3-10 teams. The division part of it, the top part, has been pretty good, like with the good ones. Like, we have the North and the South here in the AFC, which are just crazy, like 7-6 teams, 8-5s or whatever. I don't know. Should be an interesting, fun. You can't just bet teams, Matt, and say, "Oh, well, they're mailing it in. This team's got to win for the playoffs." Look at these matchups.
Yeah, well, everybody's the top. You're right. The top of each division, it's still open. I mean, the one that is probably, Denver's probably in the best spot, I would say, of all division leaders, because they're 2 games up on the Chargers, and yes, New England is 2 up on Buffalo. But if Buffalo wins this week, it's a 1 game. Essentially, it'll be 1 game. Pittsburgh, Baltimore, right there, we win the game. Jacksonville, Houston's making a run. Jacksonville is on fire right now, and these top tier divisions, they're all great right now.
I think I told you, that Thanksgiving, either a couple days before or after, I took a Jaguars plus 420 to win the South, and a plus 825 or 810 for the Colts to win, thinking, you know what, maybe one of them goes on a run, because I wasn't high on the Colts to continue their winning. Like, they're kind of not smoke and mirrors, but doing a lot of offense. And, if you have against a better team, that's not going to last all the time. You could be outscored, you could lose a game. And Daniel Jones, maybe regress a little bit. I wasn't hoping for the guy to pop an Achilles and lose a $30 million contract next year. That's definitely not what I want for the guy. That's terrible.
Yeah.
But here I am now with the Jags in first place and Houston on their heels. I'm feeling pretty good. I don't want to get greedy and just pull out for Houston to win, but man, that'd be nice at an $8 clip there. Wouldn't I just do again, it was 100 on each. Like I was like, whatever, we just play a little bit 100 for 4. I figured worst case I would do split because I thought the Colts were definitely not going to hold on. And but yeah, good stuff with this end of season stuff here for
with Houston, they had that. I think we talked about it just the other day that they outscored Jacksonville 20. Was it 26-0 in that fourth quarter game? And so they haven't lost since then. They won 4 in a row now, and they're right there.
Yeah, but defense. If you got a defense, you got a shot every week.
So good.
You got a shot. Good. Now it says the May and Young would win their division. When did you say that? Just now that both teams are winning? If you had New England, I could see taking a shot on New England, right? The whole world's going to be on the Bills start the year. Bills favored in every game, Matt. Obviously, favorite to win division.
Yep.
I'm not one to give out the favor, especially when it's like minus money. So I probably would have read the little something with you there on Niner fan with the Saints. Although Carolina, I definitely would have. I probably would have said that because I like Tampa Bay to always win. But again, that's the short fave. Carolina definitely over Atlanta. The love for Atlanta and Michael Penix was just mind-boggling over summer.
I agree with that.
Almost as crazy as the Minnesota love for J.J. McCarthy. Like they thought this guy was. I don't know who they thought he was. Come on, I'm trying to think of a great Michigan quarterback. Drew Henson. Not Jim Henson from the Muppets, but what are we doing here? What are we doing? Sky saying hello. We got a couple of these I've already hit already. Niner here. Bull take Patriots. Niner Super Bowl. That's not crazy. I mean, the Patriots definitely not crazy. The Niners a little more of an uphill battle. Maybe a bit.
I have San Fran winning the NFC. I have a ticket on that. We talked about that during the preseason, and they're because of their schedule. Their schedule is so easy. And coming home. What we just talked about? 3 or 4 at home, in the one road game at the Colts. They could easily win that division. I shouldn't say easily. Seattle's gonna be a tough closing game. But with you have Philly, who's stumbling. You can't trust anyone in the NFC South. And are the Bears for real? Are the Packers for real? We'll see about the Packers this Sunday against Denver, which I kind of love the Packers in this matchup. But I think San Fran has a legit shot to make the Super Bowl, 100%. Patriots, they play the easiest schedule in the NFL so far. I'm not sold on them yet. See what happens with them this week.
You think like the Bills would be the spot, right? They got to get their revenge. Allen's playing well. Right. But the bye week to me just says, you know what? You got to take a shot on the Patriots with a bye week. Maybe they run a little bit more, little trickery or something here on their team. Danny Boy loves your tree with the flashing lights behind you. He loves it.
Why is it flashing?
That's it. You got to fix the button. A little light button.
Is Drake made for real?
He looks pretty good so far. Do you take one again? This is year 2. He's looked really good this year. I like the coach.
I love Rabel. Yep.
There's a good chance you're gonna have home field. It's gonna help. And let's say it on to the fact. Lamar's probably not gonna be there. Burrow might not be there. Mahomes might not be there. Now, those guys, you get them on the road, you're gonna be like, anything's possible with those quarterbacks. They could do something. But all 3 of those guys might not make the playoffs this year.
That's crazy.
I got to address my guy, Mr. Numbers here. Crazy Mr. Numbers. I love Mr. Numbers. I had to mute him because he'd come in. He said stuff like this: "Bad karma." I went 2-0 yesterday, but I've been on a slump the last month, like 500. I said, Mr. Numbers, I said you can't come onto the chats and say crazy stuff when I don't own these channels. Like there's a mistake on like a grading. Like, Matt's a guy who's on a bunch of stuff. We don't know. If there's a mistake, don't harass me on Twitter. I'm not in the back grading grades. I like Mr. Numbers. He watches all the shows. He'll comment. But sometimes he goes off the rail. I mean, the guy thinks Aaron Judge is an MVP. The guy's crazy. Who thinks Aaron Judge is worth $40 million a year? Man, nobody. Except for that guy. By the way, are you guys going to sign Bo Bichette? What are you doing playing games with him?
I don't know.
You got a pitcher, and you need him. Do you not want another bat? That's great. You got Dylan Cease. You got nobody playing in the infield there. All right.
Yeah, I don't want to go off on a Blue Jays rant, but I will. The Yankees are the Yankees, right? I get it. They're going to be good again. They're going to be favored. Yes. Orioles just signed Alonso. They're going to be back in it again. They were good last year, supposedly, and then just the rails fell off, and they just just collapsed. No pitch, exactly. When they got rid of who they lose to Arizona?
Burns left.
Burns, yeah, exactly. But no, they'll be in the hunt again. Red Sox, they're going to be good. They're going to get Peralta. So they have to sign this dude. They have to sign this guy. And if they don't,
I don't. The Alonso signing's great. You still have no pitcher. You traded Grayson Rodriguez for a outfield bat, which is, again, Rodriguez's elbow's got to be shot. It's got to be done for them to trade him. The kid's like 26, 27 years old. I'm like, might as well burn my Grayson Rodriguez rookie cards because there's something wrong with him. Like, there's no reason to do that to a 27-year-old pitcher. He's 27, right? 26, 27, he's young.
Very young, yeah.
All right. We'll touch on college football. We did it the other day. I would tell everybody, go watch the videos for these, but you know what? It's so limited tomorrow with the games. We gave out I was with Alex Smart and Doug Upstone on Thursday's video. We gave out everything. A side, a money line, a total. I'm going to give you one. You can go, if you want the side there and whatever, you can go to the site. But under 38.5, the trends outweighed everybody on the show. They're like, they just said, you know what? Until it flips back a little bit to the overs coming in, they both like the under 38.5 there with Army. So there's your college free pick there for everybody. Boise State, Washington. I like Washington in this one. Do you have any kind of opinion on this game? Maybe you got up on the sun or something? Or
I don't. I didn't touch it. I'm not going to. I kind of like Washington too. I agree with that. The only drawback is that Boise, coming off the Mountain West Conference Championship win last weekend, they have the momentum going right now. That's my only holdback from taking Washington in that game. I just think Boise has it rolling right now.
I totally like the over.
Does Washington even want to be here? I mean, I don't know. For me, it's a tough game to cap because, Washington has a much better offense, but Boise has a top 30 defense in the country. So I'm holding back on it. I just think I think the Boise momentum is a big factor, just because it's just a week later. Nobody plays a bowl game a week after they win a conference championship. Usually, this could be the first time ever.
Yeah, so usually give me like a little 2-week span between the games ending and stuff, but not here. I sort of like Washington there. Again, over perhaps. And again, bowl games I wanted to think over because it's your last game. Why not have some fun with it? Obviously these aren't playoff stuffs like that. Like that's a little different. You got to play more. These games should be taken with not a grain of salt. That's not the right thing. But when it's 4th and 2 and you're on the opponent's 43-yard line, freaking go for it.
Exactly.
Run a fake one. Do a flea flicker kind of stuff, double reverses. This is what people want to see in a bowl game. This is what people want to see in a bowl game. Again, you want our bowl game winners. There you go. Head over to GamblesWorld.net for me and Matt's all of our bowl action. Speaking of bowl, do you got anything loaded up already for bowl action?
No, I do not.
Oh my goodness, really?
I'm gonna have playoff action. The CFP probably later today or tomorrow for sure. Like we talked about on Wednesday, bowl games. I used to like put them up ahead of time just to maybe get some value with the numbers. But right now, with the opt-outs and the transfers, and you just don't know some of these teams what's going to happen with some of these players. And some of these lines they move like crazy within the last week. Up for the bowl game. So
I got an 8-pack up. I'll tell you right now. You were speaking of line moves. I got Old Dominion plus 6.5. It is currently a 3.5 now. They're a 3.5 point dog from 6.5.
I'm looking at my sheet right now. It's 5. It was 5.5 as of 2 days ago, so it's 3.5 now. Yes.
Yeah.
Some of these moves are like insane. Like Missouri State, Arkansas State completely flipped.
Yep. And those are, kids are going to play in those games.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
We'll be talking about those as we progress next week.
What's your take on Alabama, Oklahoma? First game of the playoff Friday.
I want to see a 0-0 tie with these guys. I mean, the under is 40.5, which is ridiculous. I did see the report like the Alabama quarterback's hurt. Listen, I like Alabama. I took Alabama, and I kicked Alabama's back in on here for the whole week. Before they even lost that game, I was killing them that they're going to make the playoffs. But how many times do you see this, especially more in like the NCAA tournament, the team that gets in that playing like the 15-11 Syracuse team or some wacky Big 12 team who's like 16-14, they get in like, oh, look at this, their strength of schedule. And they go in and make it to like they go on like a Sweet 16 run or make it to the second round. Like Alabama's heard all the criticism, right? I am concerned though that the coach is going to Michigan. I'm not being honest. I think I could see him just being like, see ya. Although why the hell would you want to go to Michigan?
I know. Like I saw that too.
I think Ohio State and Oregon are tougher than Georgia and Mississippi. Like we've seen. Listen, Georgia with Kirby Smart. Dude, since they're not the only guys dropping off sacks of money now, and anybody can match whoever because you got people at Stanford be like, oh, wait a second, we could donate now? Is it going? These guys are buttoned up guys. They weren't. These schools are going to be able to compete now, right? And I think Alabama, again, is it easier? Maybe a little tougher recruiting because they don't have the bank nil as they did in the past. But I don't want to go to the Big Ten with Oregon. Hell no with Oregon. No way. I don't want to face Oregon. And forget about Ohio State winning. Man, imagine if they had a good coach. You know what I'm saying? Like Michigan is where you want to be.
Yeah, I don't understand why that move would want to be like it's a lateral move if nothing more. You know what I mean? Like was he from there? Did he go? I don't know the backstory of why Michigan would be more appealing than Alabama. I don't know. I haven't read into it, but I heard that he might go there. Like why? But you're one of the best colleges ever. Like
but is it you're still in Saban? You're always compared to Saban. The guy's got 10 rings ahead of you. That's the thing. I think that would be number one on my.
Yeah, I guess that. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Mr. Number says to take Army in the points. Best bet on the dog. Yeah, I
agree with that.
We did that show on Thursday. I'm not telling you. Like I said, there was somebody said money line aside there, and we're not going to come in here and tell you take a money line. If one side is plus 200, what's the other side of the money line? I can almost guarantee you that nobody's going to come in here and do an opposite of a plus 200 money line.
Yep.
I can't help myself. He said Alex March at Army in the money line there. So yes, Mr. Numbers. Bama won't score. I agree. The defense is there for Oklahoma. I just, again, my thought is that you're the team that everybody hates and don't want there. You're going to kind of show up. Why is Oklahoma there? Because they beat a 3-loss Alabama team. I don't think Oklahoma should be in the playoff.
I mean, you say Bama quarterback fraud. Well, what about Oklahoma's quarterback? He's freaking hurt. He has no thumb. Their offense is awful, and Alabama has a defense.
They are home games, yes. They're home games, Mr. Numbers, and Oklahoma is a 1-point dog here to Alabama. Shockingly, on Sunday morning, they were a 5.5-point underdog to Notre Dame before the games come up.
Yep.
Comments on the short feed are not showing up here. I gotta roll over. They're not showing up. Let me go to the YouTube there to pull up the shorty side because apparently we get comments that aren't popping up on the thing. No, they're all on here. This is all SF Niner guy. Yeah, I got all his comments. We saw those in the chat. You got those. All right, next game. Again, college football. Tune in next week. We'll be talking about these bowl games. Listen, Monday will be the Thursday nighter between Seattle and the Rams. Tuesday, who knows, man? Maybe we'll be talking about this Troy Jacksonville game. The Old Dominion game here is the next day. Maybe we'll tap on like a Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we'll do like a Wednesday, Thursday for those two bowl games. Do little double dippers there on those. So again, folks, put that notification bell on. You'll get your college football fix next week for free picks.
Yep.
Again, best bets. Head to gamblersworld.net for all those. Now let's continue with football here, and we can really just run down the whole list if you want to talk about anything. Houston, Arizona. To me, you got a big number. I don't like laying these kind of big numbers. Texans should win this going away the way they're playing. Arizona got destroyed last week. You give up 45 points.
Yep, that's exactly why I like Arizona. That's exactly why I like the number.
And again, why isn't this double digits? Is it because the Texans' offense is so bad? I see a 45 spot. I think they're automatically going to show up, play a little defense. Yeah, is the season over for Arizona? Absolutely. Where the hell are they going? I mean, going nowhere with 3 wins, trying to find a draft pick. You're going to show a little pride there because who knows if this coach is back.
He's done. He's gone. Coach, quarterback gone. Both are gone. Guaranteed.
I prefer the under here. I got the 1, 2, 3, however you want to do the numbers on their DVOA there for the Texans. They're right up there with the Rams, and Seattle's a great defense.
They're number one. Yeah, they're number one in EPA overall. Number one EPA in passing. Number 6 in rush. Yeah, the defense is unreal.
Houston's not scoring 30, right? This game isn't going over. Could it be 20-10? Could it be 16-10? Who the heck knows? If this gets over 42, I'd be shocked. I'm going to make that a show play here. Houston under 42.5 for everybody. So there's that. Philly Vegas we talked about here. I mean, if you're taking Philadelphia, you're a big fan. How's that season going? You've been miserable since Thanksgiving. Don't ruin your Christmas. Just cheer for them in your head. Don't do the reverse jinx, I guess. I don't even know. You want to bet on Vegas and then hopefully Philly wins. Get some reverse mojo going on them. Oh, we got a special guest showing up here today. Mr. Lawrence is in the house.
Here he is.
Hey guys, how are we doing?
Good. How are you?
How are you?
Good. I'm sorry I'm running late as usual. I hate doing that, but we had a 911 priority with our bowl guide, which was supposed to be ready at noon and wasn't. So nonetheless, it is. And now here I am. Nice to be with you.
No worries. Listen, we got really no college footies to talk about. There's just the one really game. So we talked about that. We're talking about a little NFL, and we're talking about the conferences, the divisions, pretty much a little battle. Keep us all interested to the end of the year. There's nobody like, well, that team has to win. This team can't win. A lot of these matchups come up next couple of weeks are teams fighting for playoff spots. It should keep us interested, and at least for some competitive football. We were talking about Philly real fast against Vegas, and that is not a team I want to back in any spot, Mark. We talked about Tampa Bay earlier. I said Tampa Bay, Philly, Kansas City. They keep pricing these teams like they're 12-4 right now and dominating football when there's question marks and injuries and all types of stuff going on where I don't feel comfortable laying any kind of things more than a field goal. I don't care if Philly's playing the Raiders. I don't want to lay anything with Philadelphia right now. We were just about to talk about this one. You got any thoughts on Philly and Vegas?
Well, as far as the Philly-Vegas game goes, I think you have to let Philadelphia prove that they're capable of winning and covering a football game before you jump into the waters with them.
Yes.
They've really shown signs that they're not. The potential's there, obviously. They're being priced like they are. But through all my years in this business, what I've learned the most is when you see a team go south and you anticipate them turning north, you can't do it until they give you an indicator, a buy sign that they're ready to do that. And Philadelphia has not given that buy sign. They're being completely outplayed. The offense is lacking. The defense isn't what it was last year. So I'm going to let this game go and wait for Philadelphia to play a clean, good football game and show signs to me that they're ready to start playing some football.
exactly.
I mean, Philadelphia has outgained only 3 opponents this year.
That's correct.
That's crazy.
It's
That's
unbelievable.
crazy.
Yes, it's unbelievable. They're so negative in the stats. It's incredible. They're like super fortunate to have a winning record, let alone leading their division. It's incredible. Now they could limp into the playoffs playing the same way they're playing right now, a little bit like Kansas City used to do when they would go into the playoffs with negative stats for the year, because they were fortuitous enough to win those close call football games. But Philadelphia is not doing that. They're winning some close call games, but they're in games that they should not even be in. And until they get this offense figured out here, I don't know why Saquon Barkley is not a feature focal point of this offense like he was last year. They've seemed to have taken that away from him this year. I don't know what the reason is, but if you think we're perplexed, imagine what the people in Philadelphia are like right now. They're the hardest of these
If Jim is listening right now, I would not want to be part of that city right now because they have to be going crazy.
They're unbelievable.
If the playoffs were playing this weekend, I think Philly would be hosting the Niners.
If the playoffs started, they would be hosting the Niners. You're correct. As the number 3 seed, Three seed, Philadelphia would be. Yes.
Yep.
I mean, there's a chance they're an underdog in that. Forget it. I mean, I'd probably say it would be like a pick 'em because they're home. They'd probably give them a little bit of credit, but
yeah,
I think if it started this weekend, it would be Eagles 2.5. I think just because it's still Philadelphia being priced like they were last year. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
See, in my head, like I don't want to.
But being priced,
I can't lay anything. I don't want anything. I can't lay that. Not against a decent team. 2.5, I'll take. Give me the Niners.
No.
And then in your other matchup between 4 or 5, Seattle in Carolina. I mean, Seattle's got to be fair. What would you have Seattle there? 3, 4 on the road?
Oh, I think more than that. I would say more than that.
Seattle
Probably
and Carolina because Tampa lost last night is what you're saying?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So they've since made that move. Tampa's been holding down that number 4 seed only because they were leading the NFC South for this past decade. That's how they get into the playoffs. But they're being exposed themselves, Matt. You talked about a team that went bad in the stats. Look at Tampa Bay. My goodness, they've lost the yards in either 8 of the last 9 or 9 of the last 10 football games. And they have no business even being in the conversation right now themselves either. So, but you mentioned Seattle at Carolina. You're going to have a higher seeded home dog there taking a touchdown.
You got him that high. You got him at a touchdown underdog.
Yes,
you think
you would be. So Seattle would be right now. They're playing so well on the road, the best team in the NFL, and Carolina just being a new kid on the block per se if they make the playoffs.
We had talked about Tampa before we started showing them, and I said I had Atlanta last night. There's no way Tampa again being priced like it's September 15th and Baker just had like 3 comeback wins and they're a healthy squad or something. They are nowhere near. Next week, I took Carolina next week as an underdog next week. I got them.
Yeah, I just plugged in Seattle, Carolina for shits and giggles, and I have Seattle -6. My numbers are ungodly, whatever, but yeah, I have Seattle -6.
Carolina, Tampa next week. I mean, Carolina versus Tampa Bay next week. Carolina's 2.5-point underdog next week. I took them already next week. I took Carolina.
Yep.
Make that 9 of the last 10 for Tampa. They've lost the stats. 9 of the last 10 games, and they're in the conversation. Incredible.
It is, and if you think back what they did early in the season, they were winning like really close games early on. They were one of the luckiest teams in the league. I mean, they could be easily under 500 now.
Exactly.
People calling into Philly. People are calling into WIP to whip, saying the bench hurts in Philly. Says Mr. Numbers. He's down. Must be a Cherry Hill guy down here. Listen to this stuff. Unbelievable. Let's move on to another game. We had talked about on Wednesday, me and Matt and Brian Marc, Detroit and the Rams. 5.5, 55.5 here. And now there's a rando 6.5 off into the waters here, but 6s now pretty much across the board. This was a 4.5. Why am I missing a injury here for Detroit? Is it based on the Rams dropping 45 spot on Arizona? 6 now. We're in. I might have to take a Detroit look here at this number, especially with Seattle on deck Thursday night. Like this is the Rams 6.
I'm going back. The last time the Rams, when the last time the Rams took 6 was back in 2022.
No, the Lions take 6, you mean?
The Lions, yeah. Back in
Yeah.
2022, they did that against Buffalo. So it's been a long time between drinks of touchdown water dog for this football team, the Detroit Lions, who have all the capability in the world. I don't think they've gone completely south, not like the teams we just talked about. At least they're winning some games the old Smith-Barney way. They're winning it through hard work and effort. And I like Detroit in this football game real well. The Rams are really, really killing it right now. And because they are, that's part of the reason the spread is where it is. Detroit's sputtering a little bit. That's part of the reason it is where it is. But I think you take advantage of a team with Detroit that's not playing all that poorly against a team that's super hot, red hot. And if the Rams weren't on this run right now, this spread in this football game would be 3. It's gone from 3 to 6 because of that. So where's the value? The value has to be with the 6 to me.
I mean, it just seems, again, 3.5, 4, 4.5. I could see the Rams. Right? Rams are home. A more sound decision-making head coach, not going to, really stray out of his book to do something crazy. He tried that, and it cost him a game versus the Niners, and it might come back and cost him home field advantage by the way they played that Thursday night game versus a backup quarterback. So he's going to – I could see it open up at where it was. Now, though, again, Matt, I don't know. What do you feel about the under, Matt, here? You have Stafford and Goff. You got the staffs and just the players. They know these quarterbacks. They know the weak spot. I kind of like the other. I know people are going to race to the over with these guys. I think it's going to be like a 65.38-28 kind of game or something. I like it. It's like a 24-20. I think everybody's going to scream over, and it's going to not sail under, but get under.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like the total's gone up. It opened at 50.5. Now it's 55.5. So, yeah, I mean, and like you said, I think we talked about it. We touched upon it on Wednesday a little bit that everybody's going to expect a shootout here, and the over, it screams over. But I think the value is 100% on the under. But I think the value is also on Detroit, like Mark mentioned.
I think it is.
Everybody loves the Rams right now. They're the number one favorite for the Super Bowl right now, and people are in love with them. And the number, it's I think it's too much. Mark, you probably know this. I don't, but is it a concern that Detroit is coming off 3 straight home games?
I looked at that, and what's interesting about that, Matt, is a lot like Baltimore this week, the same way, coming off 3 straight home games.
Yeah.
The situation with Baltimore is a little unique in that they're coming off back-to-back home losses in those 3-game homestand. They won the first, lost the last 2. That's a real ideal role for teams that Baltimore's in, by the way. 3-game home, win the first, lose the next 2 on the road. That's a real strong spot. Baltimore, at least out of the computer, says that. Now, as far as Detroit goes, I'm a little bit concerned about that, but I'm more concerned about, where they are in the playoffs right now in the standings and the Rams playing for what they are. I think this game is just reeks of value to the Detroit Lions this particular week. And, if they win this football game, we're not having this conversation next week. We're talking about the Lions being back to where they were. And, how ironic is it? You've got Goff going up against Stafford. The quarterbacks that were on each other's teams before doing just that. There's a lot of intrigue in this football game. But I think the under is also a good side to the football game. 1, because of value. 2, because this late stages of the season, you got 2 playoff caliber teams. And when you do that, you have basically got under totals in football games where they're 2 playoff teams knocking head to head this late in the football season. The question is, do both of these defenses bust in the same game to get this game over? Or are the defenses good enough, the team's good enough to keep it under? I think the 55 points makes the play to the under in this game.
Yeah, we that was an official show pick. We'll take it's 55 now. We got a 55.5 the other day we did our show. We'll come back with another under here as official show pick as well. Me and Matt both like that to start everything you just said there. We got playoff teams, playoff football, Rams playing for home field, Detroit playing for playoff lives. Mr. Go For It's going to probably rein in a little bit when you're season and people are getting a little annoyed at your your play calling. He can't be pulling that crap. I don't think he will here. You mentioned Baltimore's home woes. Let's look at that game versus Cincinnati. Mark here. We got a 2.5-point favorite. It was 3, dropped down, total 51.5. Burrow, couple interceptions, a pick 6 kind of separates that game, turns a possible win into a loss there. Allen's nice little scamper to seal the deal, keeps the Bengals off the field for the last time. I like Cincinnati in this one. We saw them with Burrow fresh off the injured list or wherever the heck they call it now, IL, IR, whatever. Dropped, 30-something. They pumped in, 4 field goals. You get half of those field goals touchdown, you're scoring 47 points versus this team. I know their defense didn't look all that great last week versus Buffalo, but you had a pick 6. You had a big, a couple of turnovers there to make sure Fields. Their defense has been playing better. Again, you talked about the leak in oil kind of teams here. Both of you guys have and playing up to their numbers. Lamar he's 30%. He's not 70% healthy. He's 70% hurt. The offense has sputtered. The defense has not been good. I mean, there is no way. This is another team. How are you favored on the road against Cincinnati? How? Mark, this Cincinnati defense has improved a bit, and that's all they have to do is improve just a tad because they were so terrible.
Well, there's obviously the need is packed into this line here for Baltimore, where they're at right now and, where they're regressing too. They look like they come out of the bye week in pretty nice fashion with 4 straight wins, but now they've dumped 2 in a row. Not looking overly impressive at all offensively. Lee mentioned Lamar Jackson's really struggling right now. There's a big revenge factor in this game for Baltimore. They were just beat just 2 weeks ago at home against Cincinnati. It's part of this 2-game losing streak. They laid 8. So by comparison, this game could be a little bit of value in the sense that they laid 8 at home. And what are they laying here in this particular game? 2.5?
Yeah.
Yep. So in that sense, you got a little bit of value here to Baltimore. Can they get their revenge? I just like what I called out before. These numbers are really powerful. When you're at home at 3 in a row, you win the first, you lose the next 2, you go on the road. You get teams in that role that are laying less than a dog or laying less than 3 points. That number, guys, is 13-2 against the spread. That's the Baltimore Ravens role this particular week, and I'm not going to ignore that. I'm not going to chase Cincinnati or stick to my guns with Cincinnati if I would like Cincinnati originally to begin with, because I would use a number like that to either keep me out or get me to Baltimore. This is a do-or-die game in my eyes for the Baltimore Ravens.
Wow, but as much as it's do or die for them at 6-7, Cincinnati's 4-9. They could say, you know what, we're in this too. We win this one. We are 5-9, and they're 6-7. We're a game back.
They were up until last week, though. I think if you saw Burrow's press conference this week, he just looked deflated. That was their season last week, and he gave it away with 2 bad, basically just 2 bad throws. Is Baltimore legit right now? No, they're hurt. Lamar is hurt. I get that. But as Mark mentioned, I think there's value on Baltimore right now because the line, if you look at 2 games back, they should be favored by, give 2 points to home field. They should be favored by 4. And the fact the only fact they're favored by under field goal, I think they're the right side here.
This line has come down.
The play. Yes.
This line has come down from 3 to 2.5, and T. Higgins is out. That's what they think of Baltimore, that the line hasn't even moved. People bet on Cincy. They lose their number 2 guy, and they still are betting them. I love Lamar. I think he got robbed of a MVP last year. He's somehow the player of the year voted on, but he doesn't get the MVP. It makes no sense to me. NFL writers vote him player of the year, but they give the MVP to Josh Allen. Should have been his 3rd MVP. So I'm pro Lamar, but he is not even a shell, bro. He is not anywhere near as good as he's been.
Well, we know he's not healthy. I mean, he's not practicing regularly. When he does, he pulls up the next week and doesn't practice. So there's things going on physically with him that, we'll read about at the end of the football season, saying that he should have never even been in the lineup to play with. But it's just.
I did not tell anybody to bet Cincy to win the Super Bowl last week. That is not true. Now, Mr. Numbers, I did say beginning of the year on this, maybe not on this show, but on a show here, Matt, I grabbed a future Burrow MVP ticket I had, and I had a Zach Taylor Coach of the Year because I thought if Cincy could win their first game, something they haven't done since dinosaurs roamed the earth, and can come into the season somewhat focused, all they had to do was win like 12 games. And Burrow, if that's happening, Burrow's having 46 touchdown passes, and they're winning in division. What happened? Burrow gets killed because they got no offensive line because they wanted to draft wide receivers instead of offensive line and protect their franchise quarterback. Zach Taylor's still a box of crap. And Joe Burrow's such a gamer, he wants to come in and you tell me he doesn't want to beat Baltimore here? A rival? He's going to win 4 games, and instead of sitting out the whole year, like he probably should have, so his coach got canned and they can get a top 10 pick and get a lineman, he wants to be a gamer and come in because he feels bad he makes $30 million just sitting on a bench. And you're just going to screw yourself in this franchise for another 5 years because you're not going to get rid of they're not going to get rid of the head coach. Are they firing the head coach, Mark? No.
Mark brought up revenge, and I 100% agree with that. Like that game on Thanksgiving, they turned the ball over 5 times. Of course you're going to lose. Of course you're going to lose a game like that.
Yeah.
And like Cincinnati, did they get lucky? I don't want to say lucky, but Burrow played great. You know, he was motivated just to produce comeback, whatever. But you take those 5 turnovers away. What's the final score of the game?
Definite division on this game between all 3 of us. Well, you 2 are on the one side. I'm fighting for Cincy. But now you got Burrow coming off a crap game. You don't think he's going to be pissed off? He might be sad, but whatever. Come in, beat Lamar and Baltimore. Who? Come on, this is your rival here. Show a little heart. Lamar, the judges. Listen, Aaron Judge is overrated. All right. Aaron,
let's go back. Okay, let's go. I'm looking at the schedule right now. Cincinnati's defense. Okay, yes. 39 against Buffalo, 14 against Baltimore. Yeah, because of 5 turnovers. Before that, 26, 34, 47, 39, 31, 27, 37, 28, 40. This defense is not good. And if Baltimore just plays a clean game, they're going to win this one going away. Sign me up.
If.
I'm a little concerned about Joe Burrow here too, guys.
That is valid. If is a big word.
if they play, they haven't. If they're playing clean games, they won't have 7 wins on the season.
No, you're right. You're 100% correct.
Why are you worried about Burrow, Mark?
Well, does he look like the Joe Burrow that we've known before in the past? Suddenly turnover prone. He doesn't look to be the Hall of Fame Joe Burrow version we've seen. Maybe a good quarterback Joe Burrow, but not the Hall of Fame version. Can he himself alone carry this team in spite of that defense? That's the question here. And I don't know. So many times everybody we're talking about, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, they're all quarterbacks that have one thing in common. They're injured or they were injured. And the question is, how close are they to 100% healthy? I don't think they are. I personally don't. I think there's just something missing. A cotter pin has slipped somewhere along the way with those 2 quarterbacks.
Well, I mean, in the Burrow situation, he's been out and now he's coming back. So how good is he? Was he forcing stuff last week when he's trying to ice something? And Lamar, he was actually out for 3 games himself and hasn't looked that well. I mean, both of these guys are, I think, definitely not their MVP forms for sure. For sure. I mean, right? I mean, you're not going to argue, right? Matt's not going to argue on that one. I mean, both of these guys have how many games did Burrow miss? He missed 6, 7, 8 games. He was at a lot more than.
A lot. Yeah. And I kind of like the fact that his first 2 games back were on the road. Now he's back home for the first time after he got in. So that's kind of a little bit of a motivational factor as well. I get that, but I don't know. I just cannot get behind this defense. I just cannot.
I get it. It is a problem. I'm not saying it isn't, but let's look at the Baltimore offense. Like, that's what you want to get behind.
Just give the ball to Henry. Rush for 203 touchdowns.
Oh, you know what we didn't even really talk about here? Buffalo and New England. Speaking of the Bills, they had their nice big win. I just can't get past, Matt. We got New England off a bye, which I think is very important. I know, again, it's another revenge game and Josh Allen and this and that. I don't love anything really. Maybe an over. I can get behind the over in this one, I guess. Sidewise, I don't have to bet it because it's a marquee game. You know, you get first or second. You know, you got thoughts on this one? Because this one to me is literally what it is. It's a coin flip. It's who I can make an argument for either side and decide to bet either side and not be upset if it lost. You know,
I'm not going to touch this game at all because it'd be a fun game to watch. I want to watch it. I want to see what New England can do playing a good team again. Buffalo comes in with revenge. I'm not into road revenge. Revenge in general is kind of overspoken in what we do, but especially on the road. And people say, "Oh, you're playing with." Well, yeah, but they're going in a hostile territory against a team who you can say that they play the easiest schedule in the NFL, but they keep winning games. And I'm sorry, it's hard to win in this league. I don't care who you're playing. And I give the huge coaching advantage to Vrabel. Coming off a bye, I cannot back Buffalo in this spot. I cannot. If I had to bet this game, I'd be on the Patriots.
Everybody's wanting to shoot New England down because of the soft schedule that they played. But take a look at Buffalo's schedule here and what they've done. They've beaten Sisters of the Poor themselves, largely because they both live in the same division.
Yep.
And they more or less are playing against a similar type schedule. So nobody has really taken on monsters of the midway per se. So I didn't think you can throw that argument out. You only beat who's in front of you. That's the same as far as New England is concerned in this football game.
I mean, the Bills at least had Baltimore and Kansas City. Granted, both at home, and even Cincinnati. Kansas City's a shell themselves. Baltimore week 1 was a pretty good team. They were ready, healthy. You look at the New England one now. Like, who'd they beat here? I mean, the Bills, who again they lost to the Falcons on the road. In a bad spot. They almost lost to the Saints. You lost to Miami almost one time. You almost lost them at home on a short week. They definitely have their own warts to that show on their underbelly here, Buffalo. I want to take New England off the bye, and I don't know. I'm not a huge. Well, I just play guys off the bye mark in the NFL, but you're getting a December bye versus a division rival who just had a come from behind kind of big win. I want to take New England. I do. I just I don't know if I can get there with them. And
Buffalo was back in October, right? So I think this is a timely rest advantage here situation.
Huge.
For New England. Yes,
huge.
Timely. And if you look at their body of work, they're both playing really well on the field. I think if you look, New England's won the yards 8 straight games in a row. Buffalo's won the yards 7 straight games in a row. So this is indeed a classic matchup. It's got playoff parity implications written all over it. And I don't dismiss that. The thing that New England has been fortuitous about the season is they won so many close call games. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 close call wins by New England thus far this football season. Unlike Kansas City, who ran off nothing but close call wins last year, but were out-yarded in those games. At least New England's winning the yardage in these close call games, which I think speaks to Mike Vrabel more than anything else.
Yeah. No, yeah. And the Bills, our guy, Mr. Number, says, can't trust the defense. Absolutely. I cannot trust the Bills' defense. I'm not a fan of that defense.
No. We talk about Cincinnati's defense. Buffalo's defense is not good. They're not good. They're really not.
We've talked enough. We're doing New England minus 115 here. Actually, excuse me, they'll be plus 110. They're an underdog here. New England's getting a call in the show here, folks. We've done enough. Yeah.
And Marc brought up a good point. I mentioned that New England's play the easiest schedule in the NFL. I mean, Buffalo's number 28. They're not far back.
Yeah, that's right. They're in the same neighborhood, right?
Exactly. So, yeah.
We're coming up on an hour, so let's try to do a couple more of these real fast. Green Bay and Denver, just based on you got two teams. Green Bay 2.5-point favorite here in Denver. I think this is priced because you got Green Bay off of Thanksgiving, big win on the road. You beat the Bears, 2 teams in front of you here in the conference. Now you're sitting in first place here in the conference, in the NFC North, I should say. 9-3, Green Bay, 2.5-point favorites versus a 11-2 Bronco team. I'm all for the under in this one. Sidewise, we talk about frauds and who'd you play and this kind of stuff and this and that. These Denver Broncos, we could go back to opening day, 20-12 versus the Titans. You think, all right, it's opening day. They're playing down that competition. 10-7 Raiders, 18-15 Texans, 13-11 Jets. Bo Nix is, I think, definitely hit a little sophomore slump. I want to take Green Bay, but they're at peak. Everybody's on Green Bay because of the way they played last 2 weeks. Sign me up for the under. If we're doing anything here, it is a underplay for me, 42.5. Matt, you go first this time.
I like Green Bay in the spot. I think the line is telling me that. You look at Denver, 11-2, right? And they're underdogs at home. People will be all over them. When I printed my sheet out, 91% of the money was on Denver early in the week. And I think it's for good reason because they're a home underdog here. Their defense is good, yes. But shockingly, Green Bay has the number 1 EPA offense in the NFL. I don't think many people would know that. And yeah, number 1 overall, number 1 passing, number 9 rushing. And I like it. I like it just because of the line. Because the line, I think Denver, like you mentioned when you first started talking about it, that Denver has won how many close games? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 one-possession games they've won out of those 11 games.
All right, a little Green Bay look there. What do you think, Mark? You're going to roll with the Broncos?
I'm going to go to the Broncos side of the football game, guys, and I think it's a little bit of a disrespect for Sean Payton to be dressing up as an underdog here when he's the top seed in the playoff race. But I'm going to pick a little bit against the Green Bay Packers in the schedule that they're coming off of. They've won 3 straight division games in a row, wins and covers. And who they got on deck next? The Chicago Bears. Yep. This might come close to qualifying as a classic division sandwich situation against Green Bay in a spot like this. And the one role that Sean Payton is at his absolute best in is real simple, guys. When he's an underdog and he's off a win, the other guy's off a win, he's never lost the money in that role. So, I like the nevers. I like dogs. I like good coaches. Give me the Denver Broncos.
I mean, if you're gonna give one back, take a loss. This is the one you want to lose. Out of conference, out of division. Green Bay. You have a little clunker here. You got the Bears in another rematch type game coming up, which is much more important than Denver here. We did Detroit and Rams. Tennessee's a huge number. Seattle's a huge number. Dallas, Minnesota, and then we'll get out of here. Dallas, a 5.5-point favorite, 47.5. It was 6.5. It's come down. Who, I guess J.J. McCarthy's family is all in on them, and they're betting enough money to bring this line down a point. Because who in their right mind's been on J.J. McCarthy off of one game in Minnesota? I know the Cowboys got really. I mean, I'm a Cowboy fan, but I'm a fair fan. I'll bash my team. I mean, listen, I make fun of Aaron Judge and Derek Jeter. I could make fun of my teams I like. This game here for Dallas, Dak, if you can't score on this defense, this is a defense that's good to give up 24 right out of the gate. I mean, Dallas team total, I think, is 26.5 or something like that. Give me Dallas here, man. J.J. McCarthy, he had one game. Nice game. They faked his injury because he played so bad. Like they were faking his injury. Like he wasn't hurt. Like he was so bad they just pulled him out and bringing guys in off the street to play. So now you're gonna think he's the cat's meow? Get the hell out of here, man. It's Dallas for me, Mark. What do you think?
Well, Minnesota brings into this football game something a little bit unique. They're one of only 7 teams in the league coming into this football game that have not won back-to-back games, Minnesota, this year. So now you're going to expect them to do that into Dallas, who's playing with a pretty hot hand, or at least arguably playing their best football of the season. But I am not, like the world, a J.J. McCarthy fan. He may come along at some point in some time. He may have been a good high school recruit, but he's not developed. He's just simply not there. And with Dallas playing the much, much better football right now, I can only look at the Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas. We're going to make it a trifecta. We'll make it a show pick.
Absolutely. Yep. Dallas has won the yards the last 4 games. And they have to be kind of inspired right now by seeing what's happening to the Eagles. They haven't given up. This team has not given up. And to see the Eagles, lose 3 in a row, they still have a shot. They know they have a shot. And unfortunately, they had the loss last week. They outgained Detroit, but they still, ended up losing the game.
I
can't trust McCarthy. Like Marc said, I cannot trust McCarthy. He can't. He had that one game against Detroit, which they won, and he was, reckoned like, the new Vikings, star quarterback, and he's just regressed. And his injury got faked. You're right. They did not want him to play.
He's hurt. The guy, he's so hurt. He jumped like he was Spider-Man over a guy barreling in. He thought it was like the $6 million man jumping through the air in slow motion. Steve Rogers or whoever that guy was. Here we go.
I think there's a lot of value. I think there's a lot of value in Dallas this week for sure.
Ask the legend, Mr. Lawrence, has he ever bet a teaser?
Have I ever bet a teaser? Yes, I have bet teasers. Do I bet teasers? No. That was a short-lived world for me. And it became a short-lived world when I got tired of having to have 2 or 3 teams win to cash one ticket. And it's tough enough picking one winner, let alone having to pick 3 to cash one ticket. So I think the teasers are appropriately named. They're teasers. They're sucks. They're draws. They're there for a reason. And I'll close it out with this. A good friend of mine owned the biggest sports book in the offshores, next to Chris and perhaps next to Pinnacle. And he's no longer in the business, but he told me, and he's still a real good friend of mine, that they made all of their money in the sports books on teasers. All of their money was made on teasers and parlays, but the majority teasers. People cannot get enough of the teasers, and there's a reason I'm not betting teasers. I just do it the way you're supposed to do it. Just pick the games, pick the winner, and move on to the next game. Don't get too fancy, because you start getting fancy, you start moving on to parlays. It's like going from pot to cocaine.
Is that how it works?
That's how it works. Exactly right. Yes.
You're drinking cough syrup in your closet. You're stealing mom's cough syrup, and then you're out drinking Johnny Walker Blue behind
there
the
you
dumpsters.
go.
Not Johnny Walker Blue. You probably have some house brand LaRue vodka. So Mr. Number says he's not doing teaser. He wants to tease out a total here. 48.5 to Denver and tease the Patriots up 6-point teaser. A total teaser, Mr. Lawrence. What do you think about that, Marc?
The only thing worse than a teaser is a total teaser. Okay, my goodness, you have a small variance with the point spreads. Let's just say arguably from 1 to 6 or 7 points, but in totals you're talking about 40 or 50 points, and you're moving a game a few points. I think that's ludicrous to tease totals. I really truly do.
My pen is out. Get the pen out. Play Mr. Numbers. It's going to be on my official record-keeping page here of all of our plays. Teaser, 48.5 under New England. Again, I mean, that's possible. Or excuse me, Green Bay. And I like the Green Bay because I like the under anyway. And New England plus 7.5. How does it lose? Right? We like the Patriots. It should win. We like the under. It should win. This is easy money.
Sean, that's the lead speech at a Gamblers Anonymous meeting every time to a sports gambler about how he lost his ass because of a teaser and it couldn't lose. And it lost.
Again, I had muted our friend Mr. Numbers, right? Because I sometimes I have to. I got to get a little break from him. But I love the guy because he'll come in with the teasers and he'll always be like, at the end of it, after the 4 periods, how does this lose? I don't know, because somebody's going to wet the bed for you and you're 5 favorites, somebody's going to lose outright, and it's going to crush you somewhere along the line.
Danny Boyce is 100% correct. SGP is the crack. It really is. People love it. Love it.
The crazy thing about the same game parlays, because they're new, like the books, like your FanDuel and DKs have just started taking these things. But like old days when we'd have to call in the numbers, this is all you had were same games. Like it'd always be like you call Monday night, like I'm taking Steelers in the under on Monday Night Football. It's like a lock, right? Steelers that were just ridiculous in the 90s on Monday Night Football at one point. They were just everything was the same game parlay, and then these books wouldn't even take them. As I like to say, though, Mark, the best way to go 4-1 is to put in a 5-team parlay. Boy, and people love them.
I love that, Sean. I love that.
It is. You can switch it up. It could be a 3-teamer. You go 2-1, 3-1 on a 4-teamer. Like my son and all of his friends, like they're like all parlay guys. They come over here, they're on their little thing, like, oh, I need a parlay. I'm like, why don't you just give me your money?
Yep.
You want 3 teams. I said the best way to go 2. I said, how do you go 4-1, 8-1? One kid's like, oh, I went 15-2 on my parlay. 15-2. If I went 15-2 and lost, I'd walk out onto 10 and let a truck hit me. How do you lose money going 15-2? That's you shouldn't get out of your bed for 3 days and just wet yourself. That's terrible. How do you get up in the morning losing stuff like that? I did a teaser. I went 7-1. I lost. Oh,
Wow.
7-1 to lose money. Why?
People are looking for the big payout.
Right.
They want the big payout. That's all it is.
Yeah,
and it's
exactly
never going to come. Well, I should say never.
But that's the thing. It's like they put a couple bucks in there. They're 5-10. It's for like $3.85. They're like, oh, look at this. Look at I'm great. Look at this. And then it goes to a $25 ticket or $50. And they go 0 for 22, and then they hit one like, look at this. I just hit for a dime.
What's that saying that pigs eat and hogs get slaughtered, right? Going for the big prize all the time. That's going to end up being the downfall of sports gamblers.
We're pro people. We've done that. I understand, right? We understand. You look at it like I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't put in like a 17. I told Mark, I was telling Matt, I said I did like a 9-team, like a race to 10 college basketball thing with points. It was like $75, $40 to like $7.96, and it cashed. I'm like, oh, this is so easy to do. This is so easy. Look at this. You just think about, yeah. It hit like once out of like the 10 times I did it. So I was like just basically breaking in. Like it looks great. Hey, $40, you win $900. Yeah, easy. I'm just taking all these top ranked teams. You need one clown to get outscored 11-8, and you're like, oh, what the hell? What? Come on, how does that look? Yeah. I get it. I understand, but you can't do that and think you're going to make money long term. It's not happening.
Nope.
Race to 10. I see that in the football too. Race to 10 points. We have a 1-800-GAMBLER clip here. Can we run the 1-800-GAMBLER clip? Get some help. Stop with the race to 10s. All right. Over an hour. Let's do a recap of our games today. College football. We just looked at the Army. Navy guest stuff here. We did under 38.5 Army, Army plus 6.5, and Alex Smart came in and said, take a little money line sprinkle there on the Army. If you like the dog, these two teams, the way they play, why not take a little money line there from Alex Smart? And NFL, a few. We start with Kansas City under 41.5, Detroit plus 5.5, Detroit under 55.5, Detroit under 55, Houston Texans under 42.5, New England Patriots plus 110, Dallas Cowboys minus 5.5. Anything else we want to add, gentlemen? Got anything else to throw in there as a one for the show?
Well, is there enough room in the cart for another one for the show?
Are you kidding? We got Mr. Numbers going to throw this into a 9-teamer.
Oh, my.
Be a 9-legger for everybody in the show. It's the Mark Lawrence, the Lawrence Legger. Let's go.
No, I'm not. I'm kind of a soft play guy. I don't like betting every game on the board personally.
I understand that, but if you want to add one to the shopping cart here, people will roll it out. They want more. They want one in every game. Side total and a player prop anytime tutty. Don't be shy.
Well, let me see if I like. I'm looking at my newsletter here a little bit and seeing what we didn't talk about that we did, and I would say, looking through all this, I would not discount Pittsburgh's chances Monday night. I'm not a big Pittsburgh Steeler fan. Their numbers are real soft. Matt can attest to that too. They're walking in that Philadelphia, Tampa Bay circle as far as the stats are concerned. But there's going to be some really cold, frigid temperatures Monday night in Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. The game time temperature is going to be like 18 degrees, which might be like 6 feels like temperature. And
Yeah.
Tua Tagovailoa has never won a football game, and he started in freezing conditions. He's 0-5 doing just that. I think they will become the frozen fish from Miami Monday night. I would lean a little bit to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Pittsburgh. I can get you a -3 on that one. We got 3.5. I see threes here at the DKs and FanDuels and the MGMs of the world here. So we get a -3 on that puppy. I agree with that.
I don't have to buy the half point.
You're good. Three.
Good.
We got a 3 normal.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like the Dolphins got a reprieve last week when they went to the played the Jets. It was a balmy day that day. So this week, this week will not be. Do I trust Aaron Rodgers? No, but I like the spot. I do like the spot. I do like the spot that they're in. Second straight road game from Miami. Yeah, I like that. And yeah, they won what? How many? They won 4 in a row now.
Miami's on a streak. Yes, exactly.
Okay, 3 of those were Washington, who's been done for a while. New Orleans, they're no good, obviously. And the Jets are no good.
And the Jets.
And the Buffalo win was nice at home, but no. Pittsburgh, yes, I like it.
There you go. Add another play. Monday nighter for you. Your Monday night bailout winner after you put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You put 7 of these in a parlay. Something loses, so you're 6-1. You're down money. Throw it all out there Monday night. You know, that's how we bet here. The whole bankroll the next Monday. I do it.
So you're 6-0 going into Monday. You lose Monday. You're 6-1 and you lose money. Here we go.
Yeah, man. Merry Christmas, everybody. That's how it rolls. Don't do that.
All
right. Mark, what do you got on tap here at gamblersworld.net this weekend here?
You know, we talked about the NFL. I think it's a rather attractive card, and if for no other reason, it's because we don't have a lot of slop playing slop. We've got some good matchups, some playoff potential teams going head-to-head with each other, and you know, I've got at the gamblersworld.net my top dog of the month labeled for Sunday, and it's going to be available right now at gamblersworld.net. I've cashed in 13 of the last 16 of these plays. I love to isolate dogs that I think can win the game straight up, and I'll be surprised if this dog does not win this game straight up.
There you go. Go get it from Mark Lawrence as Monster Dog of the Month, only at gamblersworld.net. Matt Fargo, what do you got on tap here today?
I have a college hoops winner for tonight, an NBA winner for tonight, Army Navy on Saturday, and I'm going to load 5 NFL games this afternoon for Sunday. As Mark mentioned, it's a great, like 2 weeks ago, the card was awful, like just with matchups. This week, the card is great with some great matchups going on, and I'm going to be involved in a few of those. So, yeah, hop on over to gamblersworld.net, and let's all win some cash this weekend.
There you go. I already got my little 3-pack up. I got a total of what? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. So I got a 3-pack up. I got to add a few to it. But, yeah, and I have, what, 8 college football loaded. Not up in the package yet, although I should have because my Old Dominion one would have been great. Now I can't put that out there because it's gone from 6 to 3, but it is what it is.
Hey, Sean, let me throw a little self-plug out there, if I may. We've been working really hard all week long, like 18-hour days the last 4 days, getting our college football bowl guide together, and it's available right now as we speak. That's why I was delayed a little bit here, but if anybody's serious about attacking these college football bowls, you have to have this bowl guide in front of you because we lay out everything in every bowl game, every side, every position, every look at every angle. So check it out, the Playbook College Bowl Guide. You can download that at playbooksports.com.
There you go. Go get the listen. You need the information, folks, between opt-outs and who's saying and coaching changes. You can't do it all yourself. Mark and his crew putting the work in, the legwork there for you. So go get that playbook right now for his bowl guide. All right, gentlemen, let's have a nice sweep of the board. Otherwise, all the parlay people will be mad at us. But it happens. Somebody's always mad at us, right? All right. For Mark, Matt, and myself, thanks for tuning in as always. Back on Monday. This weekend, again, notification bell on. Chip Trimmers and the Vegas Legends will have you covered Saturday and Sunday with more free pick winners for you. Good luck, gentlemen. Good to see you.
Hey, Sean, one more quick note before I get out of here. Everybody out there, please say a prayer for our good friend Jim Feist, if you will, okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay, absolutely.
All right, thanks, guys.